It is Monday, October 14th, 2024, the year of new beginnings, and welcome to MindHeart Mondays. I hopped on a little bit sooner than I had advertised, but that's okay. So tonight we're just going to talk about you. We're going to talk about you and kind of do a little bit of an assessment to kind of see where you're at, to help you gauge where you're at right now. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for y'all to hop on, and feel free to say hello in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions, because tonight is also going to be a Q&A for you, and I'm ready to answer any questions you guys may have about our mental and emotional health. That's what Mondays are for us. It's mind and heart. So our mental health and our emotional health is very of utmost importance, and so I'm here to bring you the healing that you're seeking. And again, everybody that shares with everyone else in the community, so it really does help. If you guys have insight, if you guys have knowledge, wisdom, experience, all these things are important for everybody in the chat, and everybody who sees the replay, because you can see the chat in the replay. And those of you that watch the replay, you can put your feedback in the comments for others to see. And that's what I'm hoping for on these Monday night lives, is just some time for us to share and to release your burdens tonight. So with that said, let me see. Welcome everyone who's coming on. Good to see y'all. I'm trying to see if it lets me. No. Bear with me, y'all. I'm just looking at my. Oh, I could do a poll. I can't really chat in there, but I can ask y'all a question. So I'm going to ask a question. Let's see. Hope y'all are well. We are literally in the middle of the month of completion. So I'm hoping to hear very good news from y'all, that y'all are doing well, that you've seen progress this month in your life. And yeah, hope y'all are doing well. It's been a pretty interesting month for me. I have been just in a space of allowing the growth to happen. So in case y'all are hopping on and wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually putting a poll in here because I didn't know I could do this until just now. So I'm asking y'all a question just to kind of gauge. And I'd like to hear y'all's feedback. There we go. Okay, so there it is. Welcome everybody. Good to see you. So tonight is, we're talking about you. We are talking about you tonight. We're talking about self. And there's 3 areas that we're gonna cover in this self tonight: self-awareness, self-evaluation and assessment, and self-mastery. So you are in one of these areas when it comes to your connection with yourself. And tonight I'm going to help you identify where you are. Hold on one second. Okay. I think everything's on correctly. So, hi everybody, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Okay, so tonight we're just doing the basics, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments in the live stream chat, or you can also email me. So yes, I asked a question. Are you more of a thinker or a feeler? And again, this is MindHeart Mondays, so we are talking about mental and emotional health. And as I've taught and I continue to teach, we either tend to be more of a thinker, that is to say, I process life intellectually or mentally most of the time, or I'm a feeler. That means I process through my emotional realm. And this is important to identify within yourself because it helps you to learn how to gain strength and from that posture of wherever you tend to naturally flow from. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the comments, the compliments. Y'all are so kind. Good to see everyone. Please don't hesitate to ask questions. This is also Q&A. By the way, all these live streams that I do this is open Q&A. So you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You do? Oh, yes. Actually, you can be both and vacillate between the two. But I have good news for you, Nick. There is a space where worry dissipates. But it is easy to be in a state of anxiety and worry, especially these days. And my encouragement to you now is to just learn to be still and find that stillness within yourself, because that is where the anxiety begins to lose its grip on you. And by the way, those of you that are new to my channel, I do life coaching. I do one-to-one inner healing sessions. So if you are going through something or you need to process anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Everything's linked in my description, or at least it should be, to reach out to me so that we can work through some issues together and you can find freedom and peace and joy and love. Okay, so self-awareness, self-evaluation and assessment, and self-mastery. So if I were to ask you, of these three, where are you right now? Do you feel that you have a good self-awareness? That is to say, you know who you are. You have a pretty good idea of what you're looking for in life and what you're called to do. Self-evaluation and self-assessment. This is going a little bit deeper because you know some of the things that you wrestle with, and you also know your strengths, basically your strengths and weaknesses, or self-mastery. So you're in a space where you are in the process of recovery and resilience and restoration, as I like to say and teach. Where are you? And this is just for you, by the way. You can share it in the chat if you'd like, or in the comments. But this is really just for you to identify your connection to self. Where are you? Self-awareness. So we're in a space and time where it is getting more and more easy to be distracted with what's going on in the outside world. There's more chaos, there's more confusion, and if we're not careful, it can become so much so that we lose sight of self. Okay? And this is why I really want desire and hope that you can come to these lives or come to my channel and find teachings that are going to help you regain yourself, reclaim yourself. For some of us, we need to reclaim ourselves because we've lost ourselves in the things that we've been through, or in just, the madness of the world. And it's getting harder. Okay, it's not your imagination. You're not going crazy. Things are getting more challenging and more difficult. So part of what I want with these live streams on Mondays, and also my other teachings and soul strengthening sessions, is for you to come to this place of completely owning who you are, owning self. I think I have a teaching on energy. I did this back in the summer, actually, and you can find it on my channel, but I was teaching on energy, your essence, and your existence. These are so vital to own and possess because it's who you are. And I want this for you. Like, I pray this for you, and I want this for you, and this is why I'm doing these teachings. So with that said, let's go ahead and ask ourselves these two questions, okay? And you can write this down just to kind of help you visualize it. For some of us, we're visual people, so maybe drawing it out or writing it down helps you a little bit better. But if you were to take an assessment right now of your mental health, ask yourself, answer this question. My mind is what? If you were to just give me a descriptive word, what would you say that your mind is in this moment? Even if you're watching this on the replay, in this moment, my mind is blank. What is it? Oh, thank you for sharing that, Nick. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely resonate with that. So it sounds to me like you're an empath, and we tend to feel very deeply, and so therefore, when we're around others, we sort of naturally, we're like sponges. We just kind of absorb energy from other people. And yes, empaths tend to be people pleasers. But there is hope for you. And acknowledging this about yourself is actually already a strong stance, because you already know that that is who you are. Yes. And some of what you're saying is also sounds like you may also be with your anxiety, perhaps you internalize it. Again, some of us project, some of us internalize. But this is very important that you know, and awesome that you know this about yourself. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent, because it's going to help others. Let's see. Sorry, my hair is getting my ear pods sometimes. It's kind of funny. Okay, so my mind is blank. And then secondly, my heart is what? What would you describe your heart tonight or today, whenever you're watching this? These descriptive words, as simple as it sounds, as elementary as these sentences are, they're going to give you a reflection of where you are right now. Okay? And if anyone wants to share, please don't hesitate to share. But this is sort of just for you, so you can kind of assess. Okay, next is I think blank about myself in this moment. What do you think about yourself? I think blank about myself. And then secondly, I feel blank about myself. What word would you describe in how you think and how you feel about yourself? Now, you're going to find some of this is connecting. So my mind is blank. My mind is racing. Okay, let's just say. And then I think too much about myself. So, and it might not connect. It might be completely different. But this is important as an assessment for you to gauge where you are. In fact, this is a starting point. So one of the things that I teach in my one-to-one inner healing sessions, as well as a class, I actually have a class on this on Mondays. For those of you who like to write or journal, in this journaling class and in my one-to-one sessions, I teach you how to take an inventory of your thoughts and your emotions by journaling. It's typically called a 5-minute journal. So this is something I'm going to encourage you tonight to also help you assess and come to awareness about where you are right now. So with that said, if you guys are actually watching this right now and you have some pen and paper and you want to take a couple of minutes to just write out your thoughts, write out what you're thinking, write out what you're feeling, this is going to help you assess where you are. And this is your starting point when it comes to self-awareness, self-evaluation, and inevitably self-mastery. So let's see. That's very encouraging, Nick. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, and a lot of times when you have gone through a lot, it builds your resilience. It builds your character. It builds your confidence, especially when you have come to the other side of it and you've overcome some things. And that's a powerful place to be, because then you can in turn, as you are right now in this chat, you are going to be inspiring those that come to watch the replay or those that are here now and watching it, and be encouraged by your words. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with me and with all of us here. So yes, this is good. Now, to connect the dots, I want you to ask yourself, I hope blank for myself. So let's say right now, even if you're not even anywhere near this is something that you're hoping for yourself, what would it be? If you were to write down, I hope what for myself? Now this can be something, soon to come, or this can be something later down the line. But the key word is hope. Okay? And then secondly, I desire what? I desire blank. I should say blank, because it helps you to put in the descriptive word for yourself. I desire blank for my future self. And let me tell you right now, I'm gonna speak to your potential, and I'm gonna speak to your vision. And if you don't know what your vision is, I'm awakening it right now, okay? Because we all carry a unique blueprint for our life that is given to us by God. Now, the hope and the best outcome is for me to find it. And that can only be found with His guidance, with His help. To me, the saddest thing in a person's life is to completely miss why they were here. Okay? And my assignment, one of my biggest assignments in calling, is to teach you, number one, that whatever you have, whatever hope you have in your heart for your life is attainable and it's accessible, even if it is and seems insurmountable. In fact, most of the time it's going to, because it's bigger than you. However, you can get to a place, number one, that you know what it is. Secondly, you own it and possess it, so you can then live it out. Yeah, that's a great hope too. Yes, definitely. So knowing why you're here helps you get through what you're going through, so you can get to where you want to get to. Okay? Once I know I'm here because of this. Now, usually, I always teach this, but usually my calling, and I have a teaching on this, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but my calling is always connected to my passions, my gifts and talents, and my brokenness. That is to say, what I've survived, I can now impart to others. Okay? So your calling is usually connected to what you've overcome, as well as the things that you desire and the things that you are naturally gifted in. So that's one way to identify why I'm here. Okay? And I hope that for all of you. I truly do. Because once you know that, then you have, it's almost like you have the map, you have the finished destination on your map. And now your job is to figure out, how do I get from here to there? And actually, it's not really the finish, it's actually the start. But then you have a compass and you have a guide to where you're going. Because if you don't, then you're just going in circles and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. And that's a very frustrating place to be. But knowing this about yourself, knowing why I'm here, and again, some of this is like, what are you naturally gifted in? What are the things that bring you joy? What are the things that inspire you? And you put all of that together. I like to say it's like baking a cake. You take all these ingredients and you put them together and you come up with your own special recipe of greatness and goodness. So, for example, I love the arts, and I love music, and I love creating. I also love helping people. And I've been through a lot. So putting all of this together, and this was something that was very, very profound to me, because when I look back at my life, I see how God was strategically putting all of this together. Even though, if you think about seasons in your life, you were there, you couldn't see past where you're at. But if you were to take the time and to put these different compartments of your life and bring it all together, you will see exactly what you're meant to be doing and why you're here. Anyways, okay, so let me give you some keys. Anybody have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, did you guys answer my poll? 3 votes. So, a lot of thinkers in this chat. Perfect. Thank you all for sharing. I wish I could share more, but I can't really. I don't know why my phone doesn't let me get in the chat, but I'll leave that there for the rest of you, whoever hops on later. Or if you watch this on the replay, I think you might be able to still share. But, so where are you today? And where do you hope to be in the future? And I'm here to equip you with the tools necessary to get from here to there, wherever it is that you're going. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So, self-mastery. Matt said self-mastery. That's awesome. I'm glad you're in a good space there. Okay. So I'll give you some kind of basics when it comes to, and I actually have a teaching where I really expounded on this, so I'm just going to kind of give you, just like gloss over it a little bit, just to connect the dots. But yes, understanding your history, understanding, your upbringing, understanding the things that you've been through that broke you, understanding the things that matter to you. All of this is important because it creates your self-awareness, firstly. And then as you begin to take the journey into the inner healing, when you start to, it's almost like, the way I like to describe it is almost like you go from a place of life is happening to me to I'm in my own life, and now I'm learning that life is actually happening for me, because you go from I went through this and I was a victim of these things, and I've disconnected from self. Perhaps for some of us, I've disconnected from self, so I don't even realize. A lot of times you don't even realize you're on autopilot, and you're fragmented because of things that you've been through. But when you come to a place where you begin to realize, I am a mess, I am going through a lot, I am struggling, or I have been broken, I have been through trauma, or whatever it is, you begin to reclaim that part of you that's disconnected, or those parts of you that are disconnected, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically, or all of the above. And you begin to learn to reclaim self. And that is the beginning of the inner healing journey, and regaining, again, your essence, your energy, and your existence. And I liken those in my teaching that I shared. I believe I shared it this summer. But your essence is your spirit. It's your true nature that is, even though we're all spirits, your spirit is unique, different from any other spirit around you. Your energy is your soul realm. And one of the things that I taught in this teaching was, you might not even realize that your soul is been hijacked, because you've given your energy and you haven't yet reclaimed it, whether it was relationships, romantic relationships, or, work. Maybe work is where you pour yourself out and everybody's just kind of been taking from you. You don't even realize it. But you have to come to a place where you own it so that you can become whole again. And then existence is our physical realm. And if I'm disconnected from my essence and my energy, then I'm just you know, in a sense, a lifeless body that's just kind of meandering through life. And that's a very, very dark existence. Oh, that's great, Nick. Well, welcome to the family. I hope you come back, and I'm glad that it's been blessing you. But yes, reclaiming self is very important. So perhaps you might be in a space where, you know, when you're answering these questions, my mind is what? My mind is a mess right now. Maybe some of this has to do with the fact that you're needing to come back to your true self. And that's where, again, you start going into the inner healing journey with self-assessment and self-evaluation, and taking a very honest and vulnerable look within. And then we begin to learn how to master yourself, which is a beautiful space to be, and it's the restoration stage. So I am going to actually get going, but if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments on the replay or here before I log off. Next week, I'm going to get into probably a real deep teaching I'm feeling on Monday. For those of you who are interested in the last days, the end times, the craziness of today, I will see you on Friday nights. Our live stream on Friday nights, that's what it's all about. And of course, I will have more teachings up here as I feel led, and song messages. For those of you that are interested in my teachings, I have a class every day of the week, Monday through Friday. You can find all of that on my website, and they are very, very affordable. So I hope to see you all in the classroom next week, or actually this week. And those of you that are interested in my one-to-one sessions, please feel free to message me, shesrestored@gmail.com, or go directly to my website and book a session. I'd be happy to walk through whatever you're going through and help you get on your path to restoration and wholeness. You're very welcome, Nick. I'm glad you joined. You have a great night too, and everybody else have a wonderful night. And I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.